So this video will be divided into two. One is the usual educative subject I normally do publish on this YouTube channel. Now the second one is going to be basically a rant. So let's start with the first one. So 2 days ago, it was actually at night, around 7:30 p.m. 8 p.m. something around that time. So I was on expressway, what is it called, dual lane. Trying to remember the actual name of such roads. We had two vehicles who may be driving on the same forward motion. So I can't remember the exact speed I was doing. I was probably 100 kilometers. I wasn't actually speeding, that kind of thing. It was at night anyway, so I was doing like maybe 100 or so. In fact, a car was coming behind to overtake me. So as I got close to kind of a car coming up from the side service lane to enter the expressway. About two vehicles actually, not one car. So I was getting close to that junction where the service lane leads to any car that will join the expressway. So two cars were coming in. One was in front, one was behind. The one that was behind was Toyota Camry, this 1997 model, American spec. So this kind of thing, of course, I was already like on the speed lane. I was actually on low speed lane, but because the car was coming behind to overtake, so I had to give way to the low speed lane. I'm trying to remember what really happened. No, I think I was still on that high speed lane because I saw cars that were coming, but I know one was also coming on a higher speed than I was doing to overtake. So I was okay, fine. Once we are done with that junction, then I can give way for him to pass. Now, as soon as the first one from the service lane entered, I don't know, I wasn't focused. I didn't pay attention to know what model of car it was. Now, the one that was following behind, coming out from that side service lane to the expressway, immediately entered the expressway. Even though I was almost close, but I was still on the high speed lane. I was almost close to them. As he's jumping into the expressway, immediately he was also entering directly. He didn't was like, oh, let me enter and then gradually enter the high speed lane. Immediately he jumped straight to the high speed lane to overtake the one that he was following behind on the service lane as both of them entered. See, it was this same car, my 406 V6 6-speed man, that was driving that night. This kind of thing, you'll be like, so this is it. Like, either, or so this was going to take you out, or maybe this probably will be the end of the course. Because it's not even about swerving out or something. Even swerving out would even be worse situation out of the road in that case because of the other side. What was on the other side? So all I did was just boom on the brake pedal, held it. This thing happened with this piece of second. I just held it to the floor. Well, I wouldn't know whether I even got to the floor. I just held it. I think it was like for the first or second time I owned this car that the ABS activated. I think it was like maybe. I think it has happened once or before, or maybe that night, 2 days ago was the first time. So as I pressed and held it, of course the ABS activated. Boom, it came up. I could feel it immediately on the pedal. It was just bouncing. Not necessarily bouncing. You could tell it wasn't stable. So immediately, for the first time again, maybe or second time, for the tires squished. You could hear one or two of the tires, it tried to squish, it released itself. I know how ABS behaves. It will press it down and hold it on high speed, and it won't just stop. No, you know, as one of the tire wants to sleep or it will release and pump. You just be doing boom, 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 so that it doesn't squish and skid off the road. So it did that boom, boom, boom. It just kept doing that. Or I don't know. I think it was from the front way that I was hearing that squish on and off. You know, I was surprised I did not hit that car. I just didn't know. I wasn't. I guess it's having performance braking system is actually a big positive, you know. Could also be because it was OEM brake pads. So as soon as that happened, you know, this kind of thing, I had to eventually calm down. That car, he knew that 97 Camry was darker color. He knew what he did. He immediately speed off because even the car he was overtaking was shouting. I mean, imagine 2 cars were coming behind you as in on high speed. So it's not as if he didn't see. But so I don't know. He knew what he did. That I think it was it. Yeah, I don't want to go into that. So eventually, once that happened, so you know, this kind of thing, your heart will start racing, as if hey, something terrible will happen to you. So once that happened, of course, the car eventually. So I now noticed. As I wanted to now accelerate, you know, of course, the car reduced the speed. As I wanted to increase speed again, you know, gain momentum to continue, I noticed the engine power has dropped. As if, of course, this is over 200 horsepower. It was like maybe I was now driving at about 60% of the engine power. You know, at lower RPM, it will do as if it's still there. But once it starts going above 3,000 RPM, the RPM will still be going up, but you don't realize, no, it doesn't commensurate anymore with the power of the engine, or the movement of the car doesn't commensurate with the sound of the engine anymore. Engine will just be shouting. You know how clutch kit, when it fails, clutch friction plate, when it fails, it will just be shouting, but it won't commensurate with the sound of the engine, the movement of the car. But in this case, it was as if something was drawing the car backward, not like the friction plate fails the way it fails. So I was like, come on, no check engine light. I'm telling you, immediately this happened, that's brake, downshifted. Okay, let me continue. I don't notice no more power. What happened? So I continued, got to where I was going. You know, I actually was on my way to go and recall that I did publish a video on OEM brake pads that I took delivery. Was sent for me from Pan, Kaduna. So that was actually on my way to go and pick those things at Mabishi Park. That was when this thing happened. So I did this thing, picked them up. It's still issue. Started the vehicle, still there. Drove it that night. I didn't even bother. I just left it. I was like, was too tired to even see, hey, what's going on. I was not checking the light, nothing. Aside the airbag light has been blinking ever since I got the car. Which I know what the issue anyway, but I just ignored it. 406 is a common issue. It's hard to even see a 406 without the airbag blinking. So I said, okay, maybe whatever. I just disconnected the battery. Said the next morning before work, I'll probably come and look at it. The next morning, put the scan to, reconnected the battery, put the scan to, only 2 faults came up. Throttle, accelerator pedal sensor, motorized throttle body. It was like, for the very first time, I mean, this car has never shown an accelerator pedal sensor, and it's hard to come across a V6 that the accelerator pedal sensor is faulty. I'm not saying I've never seen one, but they hardly fail. That's my point. And this one can just only fail, just suddenly fail just because ABS activated. I was okay, maybe because I was suspecting if it was ESP car, I would say okay, you know, ESP activated and kind of need some time to reset. I tried to clear the fault, it refused to go. Disconnected the motorized auto body, the ABS, no, the accelerator pedal position sensor, which is also in engine bay, plug them back. In fact, initially, the first time I scanned the car, it showed temporary or intermittent faults. When I cleared the faults, it immediately came back as permanent and refused to go. I was like, voila. You know, so I was like, you know what? Okay. It's no longer, it's a software crash or something. Okay, let me reset everything. So I said, okay, let me start with the engine ECU. I switched off the car, I didn't even disconnect the battery. Remove the key from the ignition, went straight to the engine ECU, disconnected the 3 connectors on the ECU, put it back, came, scanned the car. Of course, the first we are still there. Immediately I did the clearing, it went away. This time. But all those times, I did it like 4 attempts. Each time I tried to clear the 4. As he's trying to clear, immediately all of them, both faults will come back permanent. Refuse to go. But this time it cleared. Started the vehicle. Didn't scan the car, accelerated, scan, didn't come back. Continue on my way to work, the car power came back full the way it was. So the reason why I'm explaining all these things so that in case you have this kind of symptoms, maybe something that happens, something similar that happened, you know, with your ABS or for whatever reason, and this kind of symptom pops up, now you know what to do. So I don't go and start changing things. So I don't know if it's peculiar to 406 V6 or peculiar to all 406 or to all Peugeot models, you know. So meaning that in a situation like this where it was like a big, I don't know, we call it emergency braking. I don't know, it just very first time. I think this was like first time in this car. This kind of the brake behaved this way, where I relied on the brakes now, as in for the very first time. It's not even about downshifting. It was like there was no way. If I had tried to maneuver, either I would end my life as I'm swerving out of the road, or I would hit the car, both of us to swerve out of the road. I don't know. Even if I end up surviving, this car probably will be gone. You might say, but at 100 kilometers per hour, no, it might happen, you know. So, so you learn one thing, 2 things to learn from here. Get OEM brake pads. Trust me, it is very, very vital, especially in the front. Even this one, the rear one, I'm not sure I've ever bothered put OEM there, because almost more than 50% of the braking work, the reduction of vehicle speed, is done, or mostly done by the front brakes, those front braking components, not the rear one. So the rear one assists, but it doesn't really do the most work. Most of the work of the brake is done by the front, aside the handbrake I meant, or any other. It's just the front brake that actually, when you look at the components, the front discs are bigger, the calipers are bigger, the pads are bigger. So you just know that. So always make sure the front ones, even if it's not OEM, let it be higher quality brake pads. Don't go for all those ordinary or substandard or lower quality new ones. It's not good for you. Imagine if that was on this, they were the one, such parts are the ones on this car that 2 nights ago. I probably won't be here sharing this story with you guys. Probably if I survive, probably might be at the hospital, or this might be the end of this car, you know. So that's one thing to learn from this. get a higher quality or OEM front brake pads. At least if you can get the rear ones, fine as well. What are the number two? The second thing, of course, I mentioned that is you have this kind of issue, you know what to do, how to solve it. So if you lose power when you have this kind of emergency braking situation, don't freak out. Just go and disconnect your engine ECU. Even if you don't have a scanner, disconnect it, plug it back. Even if, I probably believe that that could solve it, even without clearing the fault. That's what I think. Because in that case, there was no communication, or something happened between the motorized throttle body, the accelerator pedal sensor, no, accelerator position sensor, with the ECUs, and they stopped communicating very well. Because even at that, if you cipher, before that night when this power loss happened, you know, if I put it on neutral and press it hard, it will still get close to almost close to 6,000 RPM, but it takes it now much longer. Like I said, it was as if how like 50% of engine power was gone. You know, the way if your fuel pump is weak, the way engine behaves or responds to acceleration, it takes it much longer. So it wasn't as if the throttle body was not working or the accelerator pedal sensor wasn't working. No, they were all working, but it just messed up the engine power. So that is it. It could be only the V646 that will behave this way. I wouldn't know, but this is my experience. Now you know. Now the event, second part of this video. Whoever that man was is very stupid. Not just him. Most Nigerians are very stupid. Most Nigerian road users or drivers, they are very, very stupid. Because this is not like the first time I've ever experienced it. It's just that he has never been in this kind of situation where I'm that very close. Sometimes it could even be you are driving within the street and all this. You see people, you are coming out from wherever, from another one side of the road, or you are trying to enter another road or something. Instead of you to, when you enter, maintain the low speed lane. Even if you want to speed up like James Bond or whatever, you want to race your car, when you first come in, you come into the low speed lane, you stay there, you take your look, you observe, okay, oh, the rear is true, no car is coming, this or that. Then you can now gradually change to the other lane. But Nigeria is so horrible that you see people, they just drive straight from the service lane to, as they're entering the highway, the expressway, immediately straight to the high speed lane. They won't even care what is coming behind them. They don't care. No, people are very stupid. See, I'm really pissed off. Even though this thing happened like 2 days ago, but I'm still pissed because this is something that is very common in Nigeria, and it's like a norm. You see people, oh, this guy knows how to drive. So if you don't do those kind of stupid drive, they will assume that you don't know how to drive. Why would you drive immediately? Don't you understand that? In fact, you'll be surprised that most Nigerian drivers do not know that you are supposed to be driving both the front end and the rear end of the vehicle. But majority, all they know how to drive is your front. Or your driving is supposed to be both the front and the rear. You're supposed to anticipate what is in front of you, the person driving before you, what could happen, or how to be able to navigate if his vehicle behaves a certain way, or what he might do when you're about to overtake, or this, or likewise, you're also supposed to do the same from the rear. As you are driving the front, you are driving the rear. That's why the 3 millions are there. Fools. What do you think those millions are there? You think they are there for you to stare at your ugly face? No, they are there for you to also drive your rear of your vehicle. The way you drive your front, you drive the rear. So I don't know, but here even you see some of these commercial drivers, keke napep, that's tricycles, commercial cab drivers. They will just stop at a junction, at a stoplight or something. They are there trying to pick passengers. Immediately they pick they won't even care whether there's a car beside them. Immediately they will turn their steering wheel, boom, enter that road. They don't care about what is behind them. A car can be coming at a high speed and immediately they will just enter that lane. They won't even give a rip. So I'm not just calling out that stupid, whoever, if you come across this video, I'm talking of that stupid driver that drove that 1997 Camry that nearly cost other people's life on that road. Not just mine. Because even the car coming behind me, I could also see, because that's the thing. When you drive yours, you're also driving for that person. So also, all this thing within seconds. But I'm also concerned that, what if his own brake is not as good as mine? So as I was driving, as I was holding it too, I was like, hey, if I have if he goes by, maybe I can also swap so he doesn't hit me. Even if mine can be able to stop from hitting that stupid Camry. But I wouldn't want a situation where I will also consider that his brake might not also be as sharp as mine. So that if I have a way to also reduce the impact, and maybe I may be able to shift it out a little. That's the essence of these rear view mirrors. Not for you to, I don't even understand human beings. You just jump, if you don't, even without mirrors. You see, that's why it's good. I don't know, Europe, they used to do that, but now I don't know if that is still obtainable. You are supposed to learn driving with manual transmission. If I find myself in a state of authority where I can impose this kind of law, everybody in Nigeria must go and learn. Even if you've driven for 40 years, if you do not pass driving test, manual driving test, your license will be revoked. If you like, or you want to start driving, or for the first time, you must learn your driving with manual. After that, if you want to buy, even if it's driverless car, no, it doesn't matter. But for you to learn driving, you must be manual. There's something that thing does on human being. People don't get that. If it affects your thing, you know, your reaction and so many things, your thinking will change. This automatic makes people fools sometimes, because all you care about, once you put it on drive, as long as you can hold the steering, it moves. That's all. But this manual makes you, it creates a lot of skills where you think, because as you are driving manual, you think a lot. You think certain things, the way because all this, the gear, you have to think, okay, if you don't do this, this car won't move. If you don't do this, this car won't move. If the car is far, you have to think, okay, which gear I will be able to do for you to upshift, for you to be able to not get too close. These are the things. These are the things manual does to your brain. It activates a lot of sensors. Basically, sensors. Your thinking faculty will change. So many things. But now people don't. All they care about is 1 hour they started driving. For the very first time, once you enter, start the car, put it on gear, and you can hold the steering, you don't become a driver. Not just a driver, a professional one. Now, I'm not saying everybody that knows how to drive manual is sane on the road. Of course, most of them, look at this commercial driver, most of them drive very stupidly, you know. But at least, it will reduce the stupidity on Nigerian road. So anyway, I just wanted to, I was just pissed off. Like I said, it's not the first time. I see that happen all the time. Even when I'm in commercial cars or cabs, taxis, they would be doing the same thing. I'll be like, come on, use your... it's not even about logic. It's even common sense. I don't know. You're not those. Come on, you're supposed to know that you're not taught everything during your driving school. Those of us, I didn't even go to any driving school. didn't even go. Oh, that's what I'm saying. Maybe we need to start checking what's it called? Check your IQ before you even talk about driving. I didn't go to any driving school yet. I've never had any. Well, there was a time I had an accident, so I'll take that back. But at least it was my early days of driving. So immediately I learned my lesson. So that's the whole thing. So please, if you are hearing this for the first time, maybe you've been a driver for how many years now, but the first time you are, see, once you are entering any road, especially if it's a dual one, or even if it's not a dual, maybe even just a single lane, as you are about to enter, you should also be mindful that cars might be coming, that already on that road you are entering might be coming, whether at high speed or low speed. Do the calculation in your brain. If you drive into that road immediately, will they be too close to you? If they reduce your speed, let that car pass before you enter. And even when you do come in, as he's coming, if maybe it's going to take him longer to get to that place before you enter, fine. Come in and stay on low speed lane for a while. You know, come in, even if it's a second or two. Use your full mirrors to check to be sure that the other high speed lane is free from behind you. Before you enter that one, then do whatever you want to do, your James Bond move or drive or race. Not immediately, you just drive straight and you don't even care, you don't use any mirror. It doesn't matter. Anybody that hits you behind is at fault. Even if the person is coming at 200 kilometers per hour. See, it doesn't, even if the person is driving the speed was illegal. Don't you even care about your life? Even if the person is driving, the speed is too much, why should you be driving that? Don't you even care about your life? Save your life first before you start claiming who is right or wrong. Because you think that if I hit that Camry that he will survive, both of us probably will die because that impact too will throw him off the road. I don't know, man. Humans, their brain is just, all they know is if they can impregnate, especially men. Sometimes their brain shut down or else their penis work so that if they impregnate this woman, that means he's a man. Or if they can be able to make money and take care of the family. Come on, use your thinking mind and reason certain things. Keep it active all the time. Don't do it only when you are having sex. When you're on the public road, make use of your critical thinking every second. That's why I say manual does a lot of things to human beings, especially when you are driving. It keeps all your senses, all your everything active. You're always thinking critically everything you do behind the wheel. Unlike automatic, you just stay dormant mostly. I'm not picking on the people that drive automatic, but I'm telling you, there's some of the reasons why at least learn with automatic so that it will learn with manual so that even if you decide to drive automatic, you are behind the wheel. Those skills, those things are already there, so it will not stay dormant anymore. You'll be able to drive and stay active. You see, some of those things will still be activated. Anyway, so that's my rant and the end of the video. So I think that's the end. So, well, if you have your own stories, something similar that I just shared, your experience, or you disagree with me, let's hear about it or read it in the comment section. You can post it there. So like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video. All right.